Medium shot, take two.
Ready?
Ready. My name is Edith Schneider, and I am 77 years old. The history of me loving movies goes back to when I was a little girl. My dad loved movies, and he would stay up late to watch movies, and my mom didn't stay up late too much, and when she tried to, she'd fall asleep. So my dad would ask me to stay with him to watch the movies, and I would. We'd watch the old Errol Flynn movies, and I mean, it was a wonderful time. My dad was kind of a quiet guy. He was a police officer, and so to be able to share something with him like the movies meant a lot to me, and it did to him too. And that's my fondest memories of beginning to love movies. I ended up moving to Duluth and having your mom because I met my ex. And he was 4 years older than I, and he liked to move far away from family and friends. And he would get a magazine that would show places out in the wilderness that you could get cheap. And so he got a place and said, "We're moving to Duluth." And I went, yippee. I was not happy, but I was young and he was controlling. And we moved to Duluth, Minnesota. We had a winter where there was so much snow that you couldn't open the door to get out of the house. And that was scary. You had to throw your body against the door to get enough that you could get out and grab a shovel and try to shovel your way out. So the decision was made, let's go to California. Journeying across the country from Duluth, Minnesota to LA, California was one of the scariest rides or things that ever happened to me. We had the blue pickup truck with no back seat, and so I had your mother, Renee, newborn, in a blue rubber bathtub on my lap. Michelle sat between my ex and I. Our dog Mimi was on the floor between my legs, and we were pulling the biggest trailer we could, and off we went. Oh, being around the center of Hollywood when you're a movie lover, I mean, you can't even put it into words. You take a walk down Hollywood Boulevard, go to Grauman's and look at all of the footprints and handprints in the cement and the Walk of Fame, all the stars on the sidewalk. And we would walk down and look at the movie posters that would be outside the other theaters. And there were times when I would go and stand outside if there was a premiere by the red carpet and watch the stars go in. One was Gene Hackman, who just passed away. But I was walking into the building and he was coming out of the building on the steps, and I pointed at him and went, "Hey, Gene Hackman!" And he looked at me and pointed back and went, "Hey!" I know it was just a word, but it was just wonderful, a wonderful moment. We moved out there without any job prospect, with no friends, no place to live. I mean, talk about stupid. But anyway, we started out looking for an apartment. We stayed at a motel by the airport while we were doing this. And we went down Sunset Boulevard. We were looking for a place, and it was on Clark Street. So we went up the hill on Clark Street off of Sunset Boulevard and went inside, and there was a big sign that said, "No children, no pets." And there we were with 2 children and a dog. But the landlord must have liked us or felt sorry for us or something, but he rented to us. So we were the only people in the building with children and with a dog. We made a living with, again, movie-orientated things. We had lists that we would see in certain publications, magazines, that other people had of selling things, posters, movie stills, things like that. And so that gave him the idea that we should start our own mailing list and sell things like that, except we didn't have a lot of things to sell. So, and I hate to say it, but my ex was a big thief. Some of the other things that my ex would do to get some stock for us, he would meet people. He met somehow the security guard at Paramount Studios. And so we would go at night to the back door of the studio, and the guard would be there, and he would give us a bunch of stuff. Sometimes it was even piece of film, as well as posters and stills and lobby cards. And we would give him money, and then we would take that stuff back and we would sell it on our list. Now, the guard, I don't know, maybe these were things that were being thrown away. I don't know if he stole those things, but it was definitely a backdoor situation of getting those things. And all of the things weren't stolen, because then we would start to go to these little conventions and buy things from other people that we thought we could put in our list and we could sell. And so it was called P.L. Beck Nostalgia Limited was the mailing list. And we had customers all over the world. We had customers in Australia and New Zealand and England, and then all throughout the United States. Leonard Maltin was one of our customers on our mailing list. And I would type up the list saying what we had and what the price was, and then we would have stamps and we'd mail them out to everybody, and then the orders would come in and we'd fill the orders and send them back. And we did that for the whole 5 years that we were out in Los Angeles, and that was our income. And we moved back to Milwaukee because it was a matter of being homesick, and it was just time to get out of there. My ex was leaving a trail of people that he took stuff from and everything, and it probably was a good time to go home. And I wanted to go home so I could look into getting a divorce at some point in time, because he just wasn't very smart with the business. Luke, there's a love of movies with you, with Michelle and Renee, my daughters, that we all have that passion. And where it comes from, I don't know, but we do. It was, as I look back at all of this, I just look back at what a life. When you think of your life, a lot of times you think, oh, nothing happened, nothing was exciting or whatever. But reminiscing with you, Luke, on all of this made me realize what a journey, what a trip.